Hi everyone, welcome back to True Alchemy. So today's reading is going to be titled as What Are Your Strengths and Weaknesses? We have three piles like always from the left to right. The first pile is Dendritic Agate. The second pile is Azurite. And the third pile is Amethyst. Pause if you need a little longer, pick the one which calls your name the most. And I'm going to begin with pile number 1. Hello pile number 1, if you chose the Dendritic Agate, this is going to be your reading. So the first card that we have for you is Grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. I heard achieve it. According to the picture in the thumbnail, there's a chaos and the calm side. And I feel like one of your weaknesses, okay, I'm hearing a weakness, is that you tend to procrastinate, and it's mainly because of overthinking is what I'm picking up over here. So for pile number 1, I think we're going along with, I'm hearing freestyle. It's almost like your weaknesses and strengths are kind of interlinked is what I'm picking up. We have the King of Swords in reverse. This is the overthinker. I think a weakness is that when you're really going through something, and again, I want you to take this reading without any judgment towards yourself and others. And if it triggers you, there's definitely somewhere where you need to accept yourself or love yourself for who you are and how you are. So I'm seeing that over here with the King of Swords. I see the Three of Wands and Five of Pentacles. I feel like taking this in reverse. This almost feels like the energy that you taking the Star upright. We have Aquarius. I feel like one of your weaknesses is that when you're hurt, you don't really let anybody else speak. You kind of make it all about you. And I think that you start to believe that you're the victim in the situation. Like, even if there's something that has hurt a couple of people along with you. I'm going to take this card in reverse. We have Cosmic Womb, Divine Feminine. Toxic femininity is what I'm hearing. It's almost like a part of you starts convincing itself that you're more important, or like other people's needs are not important. It's like when you hurt, you forget about other people that are hurting in this situation as well. That's what I'm picking up over here. But I feel like one of your strengths is also how deeply you can feel things. I'm going to take this upright. We have Deep Diver. Thank you, Spirit. Diving into a task. Number 10. And Fast Breath, Beginner's Mind, and Vanishing Mirror. I'm hearing that you're a master manifester. I'm hearing that you're really good. One of your strengths is that your brain is very powerful. So it really depends on which side you take it. Like, how well can you control your brain, in the sense you can let it free, is what I'm hearing. Like, I'm getting a hint that Angel Guide Spirits, please help me connect with pile number 1. What are their weaknesses? Spirit is focusing more on your weaknesses as of now, and through this reading I'm hoping or facilitating, moving towards facilitation, that you get some answers which help you understand how to tackle some of your pressure points, is also what I'm hearing. So I'm going to take this in reverse. We have Burden in reverse. So you have been through quite a lot. I'm seeing past, present, future, integration, because of the pain that you have been through. And I think that how much it pushes you to hope the best for the future. I'm hearing that I have no other, I don't have anything else to do or turn over to. It's like I have to keep moving forward. So one of your best attributes is that you feel like there's no point sulking in the present, and I think that this is the reason why you tend to become quite self-indulgent or self-absorbed. Like, it's just hurting me because like you have ignored yourself for a while because you don't like to think about things when they're bothering you, and when they do, it's like a blast. I think you get really mean also with other people. I'm gonna take this upright. We have new beginnings. It's like your best quality that comes out of this stripping illusions and grounding. There's so many indications about matrix, and I think that you are somebody that has a good hold over the matrix, is what I'm hearing. Like, you're able to um, particularly manifest a lot because you don't like your reality in the moment, and I feel like your anger is the fuel of it. Like, I feel like the way you channel your passion and picking up on heavy Aries Martian energy. Angel guys, please help me connect with pile number one. What are their strengths? I feel like these things, play hand in hand, because like when you're feeling grief, the only way you feel like you can escape the grief is by focusing on future, and you try to create a better life for yourself. I'm going to take this card upright. We have indecision. So I feel like when you don't know how to tackle things in the 3D world or in the moment, I think that you try to tackle it with your intuition. You don't want to deal with the root cause of it. Pile number one, you see how your behavior like entangles itself. It's like sometimes things just don't make sense in the moment what your intuition is telling you to do. I'm gonna take this card. Okay, I'm being told to put that back. So it's like sometimes when you need to revise your own behavior again, it's like you don't want to do that. I feel like that's why you become a little self-absorbed or self-righteous. It's because you're scared of failure that leads you to this indecision scenario. And for some reason I feel like saying this so slowly, like I'm reciting it, so that you can really comprehend this situation. I'm hearing it's like some sort of way you have deluded yourself to a reality which also serves your purpose but also disconnects you from life. You see the paradox of it. So it dances on one foot balancing act. This place where you are trying to balance. See, we have 6 in 9, and they're both looking like 9 right now. There's a lot of endings that are happening in your life as of now, and new things. With endings there's always new beginnings, right? So I'm seeing that over here, that you're trying to balance out quite a lot in your life, and I think why you're balancing and not thriving is because you don't want to deal with the root cause of it. You don't want to reconcile with yourself. Wailing tree, reconciliation, sky bridge possible. There's so much like union energy with yourself, and like combining and being cordial and cohesive with yourself, which is something that you separate or take away from yourself. You create a disadvantage for yourself because you don't want to deal with the grief of endings or things that have not worked out in your life. Particularly, it adds up, like it particularly adds up why you burst out and make it all about yourself, because you it's like something happens, it's very circumstantial, and it happens, and then you're forced to look at it. But before that, it's like when you don't do it, that's where the pressure point builds, right? So we have humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. So pushing it under the carpet is also a weakness over here that I see, which I do see that it is your power to imagine. Again, like, you're a manifestor, but it's like, to what degree are you compensating for it, right? It's like you've been working hard on these things, like there's success coming in, you're capable, you deserve it, but internally I feel like this is a very huge dichotomy, or like duality to your personality, and why things don't completely proceed is mainly because of this reason, that you don't allow yourself to um feel the emotions or like feelings of unworthiness, and you try to just brush it off with the Aquarius energy. It's very non-emotional. I'm getting a very diplomatic energy with the humor. It's like you would convince yourself that it's not hurting you, and because there's fears that still remain, 9 of Cups, you're a very lively person, pile number one. This is what I see over here. It's like right now I see that your strengths are being weakened because of your weaknesses, and that's particularly what I see in the reading. Take it or leave it, that's completely up to you. But if this resonates, you know that there's baggage that you need to release so that you can actually prosper in life according or in estimation to your caliber and potential in life, right? So I'm gonna pull out an advice card for you before I let you go, pile number one. What is the advice, angel guides and spirit? Pile number one. I'm hearing shut down, like take a breather. Sometimes it's not important to just be in the rat race. This is an illusion in your head that I'll miss out on something. You're missing out on yourself. You're not missing out on any other opportunity. Taking this in reverse, in the hand, universe is your partner. Thank you, spirit. This is what I've been trying to say. You think you're gonna miss out on something. Crown games, right use of power, magician sword. There's so many manifesting cards over here. Like I've come across the fourth one now, and this is also 37 that reduces to 10. This is right next to the 9. You have to kind of let yourself see that how much this acting like I'm okay is creating doubt in your head when there's something that relevantly comes up as an opportunity and you're not able to avail it, or even when you do, it's not yielding the results that you would like, and this is because you're not in unity with yourself, pile number one. So I'm gonna leave it here. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more with the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. Information for booking personal readings is given down below, and I'm gonna see you guys in another one. Bye. Hello, pile number two. If you chose the Azurite, this is going to be your reading. So the first card that we have for you is failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. I feel like definitely with just this card, it means that you are somebody that doesn't give up on yourself and your dreams. I feel like you've had a fairly tough life, tough karma on you, okay? I feel like you've had very difficult relationships as well. And according to the picture in the thumbnail, I see that you can see that there's tears coming from one eye, and the other eye there's flowers growing. It's almost like it's giving me the analogy that this water is it's nourishing the seeds that you've sown. It's almost like I feel like you could watch pile number one because there's a tone of ego sublimation over here, but there's also a part of like you could be quite philosophical, or you just have a very idealistic approach to life. Like you, one of your strengths is what I see as you have a good head on your shoulder. Again, there's just the image of the head, so no coincidence, but I feel like you've been through quite a lot that has jarred you. It's like it's it's really beaten you down in life, but there's a part of you which is still looking for how can I make the best of it in my life, right? It's where you have been through quite a lot, and this says someday the pain will be useful. It's like you understand, or you're beginning to understand, that everything in life genuinely just happens for a reason, right? You guys, please help me connect with pile number two's energy. What are their strengths and weaknesses? I'm seeing the Three of Swords again, heavy Saturn energy over here with Pluto. I feel like you've been through quite a lot of ego deaths, and now it's like a I'm hearing that you're multifaceted. Like multifaceted. Like, it's just, you have a lot of personalities within you. I'm gonna take this card in the reverse. We have the Two of Wands in reverse. I feel like you take one step at a time, like one day at a time. You don't like to think too long term, but you do maybe have a, you might have a layout for life, like you know what you would like to do, or there's just a, let's just say it's not a blueprint thingy, but there is something to build upon, or there's an ideology yet again. It's like it's not figured out, and taking one step at a day is something that you're very it's your strong suit. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like you take opportunities when you can, and when they make themselves available or present in front of you. And I think that how this binds in is that you know how to create happiness. You understand that happiness is not a destination in the most cliche sense. I'm going to take this card upright. We have Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you're also somebody who relatively, I feel like taking this in reverse, you don't think that everything is majorly based upon hard work, or like you don't like to settle down in one place, which is like a bane and a boon is what I'm hearing. I think commitment, yeah, see, withdrawal, thank you spirit. So it's like commitment, finality. This is Ten of Swords, which is really giving me that you don't like to be told what to do, and I feel like this is your weakness because it comes from a place where you probably were controlled quite a lot in your childhood is what I'm going to take this in reverse. I think that whenever you face a difficulty or somewhere where it's like it's got to be, see, we have Eight of Cups with the Departure and Hangman, where it's requiring for you to settle down for a bit or make your peace with the situation, because you're so used to change and perhaps instability because of your childhood, that you're just not okay with life keeping you at a standstill is what I'm gonna say. You don't like that. It's I'm hearing it's haphazard, it suffocates me. I don't like that, and I think that this is a weakness because some places where you shouldn't be also makes you stay there for long because of your trauma. So there's like dichotomy over here that binds in, which really tells me that you're someone who requires your space. I was hearing slave, so it's like you think that if you have to make a commitment, especially when if it's like related to a person, place, or thing, you're not a conventional personality. I'm hearing vagabond, which really gives me that you want your own space, right? It's like I don't want to be tied down to anything. I don't want to be always putting my eggs in one basket. And you see how this can serve as a bane and a boon, because it's like you're always ready to pack your bags, but it's like there's a part of you that still craves the excitement or the fascination of uncertainty, which is again very contradictory, because I think your core being really craves for that. It's like maybe a part of you doesn't feel worthy of that amount of love or stability. You're just like, you feel like if somebody sees too much of you, they're gonna run away from you because of the things that you've been through, right? So it doesn't allow you to just be situated in one place, right? I'm going to take this card upright. We have Tidy House, Clarity, and Organization. I just spoke about it. It's like I feel like there's this energy of putting all your eggs in one basket when it comes to like a people, place, or thing, whatever it could be. It's just in form of opportunity, and like I'm hearing life settlement, life insurance. It's like you don't, wow, Horseman, Herald of Change, and needing direction, lost in space. It's like you don't like being situated in one place or being told what it is. And I feel like it's not because you don't crave that. It's because like you're just like, I don't think I deserve it, or I don't think I can sustain that, or a part of me feels so faulty because of the way my life has turned out to be. But it's like you're such a beautiful person. You're very raw. As raw as it gets, as real as it gets is what I'm hearing. And it's like you have so much to share, but it's like a part of you still feels like, oh my god, like I am damaged goods. Okay, for somebody this is like really triggering, but I feel like this is the reality of the situation. Like you feel like you're damaged goods. I cut the deck and I see galactic mushroom, divine matrix. So this is a part of you that is very fearful of intimacy, especially vulnerability. Like you can't stand being seen for completely who you are because you don't completely accept yourself. There's so much resilience in you. I don't want to take away from your progress, all right? That's not at all the motive of this reading. It's just for you to know maybe there's a paradox that you have developed in, you know, your struggle and resilience, that I have to do this all alone. It's like the strength that you don't have to carry this alone. You're like hyper independent in a way, and you might not agree because you come across as maybe quite feminine. We have a feminine figurine over here that doesn't have to be gender non-specific, but I feel like I'm going to take this in reverse. First breath, beginner's mind. You haven't experienced normalcy in a way. Perhaps your parents are divorced or something like that. I feel like there's a lot of difficulty in your childhood is what I'm picking up. Like there were a lot of difficulties that made you the person you are today, and I feel like you're scared that other people or somebody that you might this feels like a relationship trauma. Again, this theme started off like that. It's like you're a great person, you provide that understanding, but then it's like, you know, that there's a part of you that feels like, oh my god, people are not gonna wanna have me, or somebody's not gonna wanna have me because like I don't completely understand myself. Like sometimes I want to be coddled up, but sometimes I still want my space. And this is a place where you're still struggling with intimacy and vulnerability. It's not that there's anything wrong with you, it's just that you're not used to having people to fall upon, is what I'm seeing over here. Garden of Venus with the Venus, this is like self-worth and what you really think you deserve. Surrender, sky dances. I feel like with dancing, I see you like going from one place to another, perhaps like, so it's almost in a place where I feel like one of your weaknesses has become your strength, which is a bane and a boon. That's why I've been saying this. It's a gift and a curse. Like your strength doesn't allow you to rely upon another person because you don't want to be let down. So um you don't hold expectations that you feel like will not be fulfilled particularly for you. It's not that you don't want to help other people, it's that you don't want to accept help. I'm going to take this card upright. We have the Hierophant. Thank you, Spirit. So this is Taurus energy again. This is ruled by the planet of Venus, which tells me that you're somebody who um you like the good things in life and you think that it's all meant to be achieved by yourself. You have like this, I'm getting galactic or ancient Toltec wisdom, and I'm hearing that you particularly feel like this is all meant to be achieved alone. Like I'm hearing that you came here alone and you're going to go back alone. It's like you don't allow yourself to feel that sort of camaraderie with another person. You just restrict yourself so much. I'm going to take this card reverse. We have Nine of Swords in reverse. With the Hangman Piscean energy, I feel like you you're so used to getting things done by yourself. You might struggle with substance abuse. We have the Queen of Pentacles and Seven of Cups. I'm going to take Seven of Cups in reverse. You're really looking for a partner. I feel that deep down inside you're looking for a partner. You want to settle down. You want some sort of I was about to say like stability and solid structure, but I heard solidarity. It's like you want this, you want companionship, you want to rely upon someone, you want your own tribe in a way, people that help you. It's all about interdependence and the need, basic human need for emotional connectivity, which you tell yourself that you don't need because you're so strong and you got everything in under control, is what I see. The most simplest and politest form, I feel like, because this can be painful to hear, like, oh my god, I can do things. It's not at all to make you feel like, oh my god, you can't do things alone, but it's like, to what extent, like, is your hyper independence affecting you, right? That's where this strength and weakness really collide together. I'm gonna take this card, upright teaching. I feel like you're a very teachable soul. Like you have a lot to teach, and that's one of your strengths. It's like you learn really quick also. It's like I don't think that you would not put yourself in a place where you can be vulnerable. It's like maybe you're looking for the person to match that, but it's also opening yourself up on that vibrational frequency or just in the universe that hey, I'm open for that, I'm going to take that risk, I'm going to allow myself to do that, because it's completely opposite to your core being as a human, as your psyche. So this is what I'm seeing over here. All right, so before we conclude, I am going to pull out an advice card for you, pile number 2. We have this, I'm going to take this in reverse. We have divine timing in reverse. Okay, I see ancient wisdom. Thank you, Spirit. So I just spoke about that, and forgiveness. Clearly, I hear like forgiving your parents. We have 23 reduces to 5. We have 30. 30 has 3 number has been 3 has been coming up. So you have 21 over here, which is again 3. We had 3 somewhere else as well. Probably not. I don't know. 3 is quite important. 34 ancient wisdom as well. Number 7, 35 in a journey. I do feel that this is about going inside and releasing your past, and I know that can be such a cliche thing. It's such a chore, you know, is what I'm hearing. It's such a chore, but it's like you kind of have to do the errand, is what I'm hearing. You kind of have to pay attention to it. You have to balance out that part of you which tells you that you're too damaged, and this is going to come in its own time, but it's not something that you should sit upon and ponder upon. It's like if you recognize this and this reading gets along with you and it triggers you, you know there's something that tells you I can't rely on other people. Alright, so pile number 2, I'm going to leave it here. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. Information for personal readings is given down below, and I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye! Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the Amethyst, this is going to be your reading. So the picture that you chose is you got this. So I think you're quite confident. You've done a lot of work on yourself. It's taken a lot of hard work. You know, I think that just saying that you've done a lot of work, I feel like it doesn't do justice to it. You might be Libra. Also picking up on heavy Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I'm hearing a high caliber, like you have great tolerance. I'm also hearing anger management with all the orange that we have over here. I feel like you've done a great deal of hard work. You've put in a great deal of hard work when it comes to acing your triggers in a way, or understanding them, or just observing them is what I'm going to say. I'm going to take this card in the reverse. We have changes. I think that relatively you used to be quite scared of changes. I think that we have home, inner journey, and perception. Wow. I'm going to take the card perception in reverse. I think that what shows up as a strength for you is that you can be very perceptive, but it's more like sometimes I think you become very stubborn and it doesn't allow you to see other people's point of view, is what I'm feeling, because particularly your life has shaped you in a place where it's like go get it. I think sometimes you tend to become a little insensitive to other people's life or their emotions, and I think that we have growth, retreat, movement, and balance. You're quite tough, right? You're a tough cookie is what I'm picking up. And I think that you have worked really hard to accumulate whatever is your definition of abundance in life, whether it just means to be happy internally. And I think that you are somebody that people look up to or when they come across, but it's like you still judge yourself for their shame. Yes, thank you, Spirit. So it's like you still feel like you still hold judgment when it comes to people newly experiencing the things that you have experienced, or like something that you don't understand. It's either that you don't understand and it's new to you, it's an unknown territory for you, or it could be that you're just you haven't released shame from your own past when somebody else is doing the same thing that you have probably done before. So there could be either of the things. But I think that you're such a strong personality, sometimes it blinds you to have more compassion towards other people. I'm going to take this card in reverse, groupthink. So we have mindful. Again, this is what I said, right? Thank you, spirits. It's like you sometimes don't understand what other people are thinking because you're so caught up in your own world. We have winter dream, gestation period. Gestation is like you're so busy like harvesting your own produce, because you work so hard. And I'm hearing from spirit that we appreciate that. You know your purpose, you're always on it, you're not lazy, you're not completely procrastinating. And I'm hearing that there's a difference between taking care of yourself, taking care of your health, and procrastinating is also something that you've been learning or adapting to, because you're such like, I get the image of like a machinery, like you're always in a marathon, like you're always going on something. It's not a sprint. I don't think you're unrealistic about how life works particularly, but you do have unrealistic expectations with yourself and other people. I'm hearing your person, like I keep hearing that maybe in a relationship where you've had that, like this would be a good way to understand, because like in a relationship you're so intimate with another person, like um I'm hearing that loving someone is like they become a part of you in your life, right? So this is what I'm seeing over here. Like it's not just about the intimacy, but the intimacy that you share with yourself. And I think that um you're a very convincing personality, and I think that sometimes you convince people to go according to your own pace, but it's like you don't understand when they also need your accommodation with them and their own pace, because they deserve that justice too. It's a lot about fairness and balance. Over here we have moon, maiden, new beginnings, and farther gate, bold step forward. So I'm hearing that you wouldn't hurt a fly, but it's like you know how to take leaps of faith. You know how to move forward, you know how to make. I'm not saying that you're a bad person, okay? I think that we might get off on the wrong foot. Spirit will give a conclusive formation to the whole reading because it is titled as your strengths and weaknesses. But the way I see it right now is like I'm being defined, I'm being given to define your weakness, which comes in this form. It's like I feel like I'm twisting my words so much, right? This is the energy where you don't realize that because you've been through so much, and now you know that you don't want to be like, you don't want people to walk all over you. It's like you know the right thing to say, but it's like sometimes this becomes a little bit Machiavellian is what I'm hearing. Like it's not fair to other people. Like you you might portray a false sense of security to other people when you're just trying to get your way. And sometimes I don't think that you're purposely doing it, but it is your survival tactic, because you are somebody. See, we have balance and courage, because you are somebody that has a lot of life experience, and it's like you sometimes feel like it's okay to take advantage of it, or you just think that because it has happened to me. And I'm not saying that you're purposely doing that, okay? That could be at the peripheral of your mind, or it's not. It's completely for you to decide. But if you chose this pile, there is some sort of like psyche that it revolves around benefiting off other people in a way, most politest sense, if I could put that. So I'm gonna see how does this bind in with your strength, because it's like you have good people skills. Even if you're an introvert, you have good people skills. I'm gonna take this in reverse. We have pride. I love myself and see myself in it. Thank you, Spirit. This is what I've been trying to deliver. You don't see other people as a part of you, or you reject that part of you that was at a low point when you couldn't be bold, when you couldn't determine your own life choices. This is the part that makes you a little bit of a strong force in other people's lives, okay? This is what makes you a little bit more self-centered, if that makes sense, okay? Because it's like you don't want to be stomped upon anymore, right? And I completely understand that and I respect that, but it's like maybe you have a way of, you definitely have something with Mercury, like your words, you're very convincing. Your professions could be around, like salesperson, businessman. I'm also hearing a comedian, or like entertainer, lawyer, defense. I'm just hearing like defense mechanism. This is your defense mechanism, where it's like you take the roundabout route to get your needs met, and that's what you do. And this is a weakness where you were not. Yes, this is where it comes in, okay? This is the psychology that I'm getting now, is because you don't understand how to get your needs met, so you do it in a way which is more perhaps pleasing, or it's nicer to hear, or it's just a little bit teasing, or I'm just hearing like it's pleading in a form where it's like you don't feel like you can be assertive enough to just say what you have to say without being mean or people pleasing in a way, okay? So that's what I see as a weakness, is like you still don't feel connected with other people or up to par, even though you're such a high caliber person. Like you are somebody that has accumulated a great deal of wisdom and life experience. I'm hearing at a very small age as well, but it's like you never want to be at that place where people see you as less than. So I am seeing this over here where it's like you need more compassion, like you give that compassion. I'm not saying that that it takes away from your good qualities again, but it's more in the sense where it's like you have a lot of good qualities, but again a weakness is that you still give that love to a lot of people. And the way that there is this prominent shadow attribute resurfacing is what I'm hearing. Resurfacing, like you don't always behave like this, but it's like when you go back into survival mode, your body starts behaving that way. And it's a specific difference between covert and overt. In all people, including I, we have traits of narcissism up to a degree. So this is where the overt personality learns how to be sort of like a grandiose personality, okay, superficiality and like superiority, and the covert learns how to be a people pleaser. So this is what I'm seeing, like you were probably surrounded by a lot of bold personalities that stepped on you when you were a child, and I feel like this has made you a bold personality yourself now, because you've learned a lot of things and you've put in a lot of hard work. That's why I mentioned. But it's like a part of you feels like it's okay to be like that sometimes, because you have to get your own way. And the way I see this is somewhere where you have to unlearn this, because it's not okay. It's like it's not okay to pass on the same hurt. There's a part of you that still is operating from that hurt, all right? So we have High Priestess, Chariot, and Burden. I'm gonna take the High Priestess upright, which is Piscean energy. I'm gonna take the Chariot in reverse, which is the Cancerian energy, and I'm gonna take the Burden, which is the Ten of Wands. So there's a part of you which still sometimes there's like I'm picking up loose boundaries, and I feel like this is in the place where you did not. I think that this is all a part of emotional trauma that still resides within you. And it's not like I'm saying that you haven't done a lot of work on yourself, but there's still, like, it's a journey, right? And it's still prolonged. So I feel like there's the part of you that still feels like it's okay to put other people's needs before mine. And I feel like internally that there's a part of you that judges yourself or your past self too much, and you never want to be seen that way again. I feel like you try to erase your past in a way, because it was so embarrassing, or you felt weak, and that's what makes you feel embarrassed, because the person you are today is relatively very strong. It's like I'm hearing self-made, like I designed myself. This was the lyrics by Nipsey Hussle. So I feel like there is this sort of like I feel like people are very attracted to you, and it's also a strength. Like you have a lot of charm, you have charisma, but there's also part of you which knows how to take advantage of that, perhaps. That's why I heard the word Machiavellian. Again, it's not that you're a bad person, but it's just to recognize that we're imperfect human beings, right? So I'm seeing that over here, that you are still carrying this burden and shame from your past. All right, pile number 3. So What else do we have? I am going to get a few advice cards as what I'm hearing from Spirit to conclude this reading. Okay, we should open this now. Friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. I was about to say I didn't want to jump the gun before because we weren't completely forming the situation, but I did hear that you relatively have not let go of a lot of past resentment, and that is why you feel like you have to prove yourself in a way. There's a little bit of revenge within you whether you accept it or not, and I feel like for most of you, you would openly accept that, because I think that if anything, you're quite honest with yourself. You can't get this far ahead in life without being accountable or holding yourself accountable for your behavior. So I see that there's resentment within you. You want to prove other people wrong who have left you, because you've made great strides in your life, and you know that, right? With all the orange, it's so prominent because it's all about sovereignty and autonomy in your own life, and you were robbed of that. And even though you were robbed of that, you still came back and you've created this life for yourself where you've gotten yourself out of a victim consciousness. So that is your main strength. But it's like judging other people that don't match up to you or aren't up to your par is something that still comes from a wounded place where you feel like it's okay because I was a victim of that, right? So I am going to pull out one last card for you, pile number 3, to conclude this reading. This was a really beautiful reading. We have peace. I am a being of love. I release all negative energy and worry and humor. Humor has come out for the second time. Also, I was about to say negative entities. So you are quite psychic, or there is like a high spiritual potency which calls in a lot of negativity. I wouldn't be glad that this is a part of generational trauma, because you probably grew around a lot of narcissistic personality. So I'm going to take this in reverse. We have transformation and we have new day. So release this worry that your life is not going to turn around. Whatever you have in your mind is definitely going to come. We have death, Capricorn. You're very ambitious and ascension. You know things have always worked out for you. Just focus it again one day at a time. I did feel that you could watch pile number 2. So I'm going to conclude it on the fact that don't worry so much and don't be critical of yourself, because I know that you're going to be hard on yourself after you watch this reading. Alright, pile number 3, I'm going to leave it here. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. Information for personal readings is given down below. And I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye!